Hi, this is Mrs. Zhu, and today we are working on our practice quiz. This is actually practice quiz number 1. It is due tomorrow, and our quiz does involve several shapes that we reviewed in class today. Tomorrow's quiz, you do have to know how to round to the nearest tenths. You do want to show your work so that we can properly see the mistakes you made and how to help you fix those, as well as so that you don't forget pieces of your work. Alright, let's start with number 1, the cone. Now the cone here, we do want to name the shape, so it's a cone. That's 1 point that you'll get on your quiz tomorrow. And the second point is to actually give your surface area answer. In a cone tomorrow, I will give you the formula. So our formula is pi radius squared plus pi radius times L, which is your slanted height. When I plug that in, my pi is 3.14. My radius is just the 4 that's given. It's not half of it, it's not double of it, because the picture shows that line right there represents the radius. Because remember, the radius in a circle is from the center to the edge of any part of the circle. That's your radius. So my radius is 4, and I'm going to square that. In the calculator, if I put that into the calculator, what I want to do is I want to put in 3.14, and then I'm going to times it by 4 to the second power, which is simply 16, because it's 4 times 4. So I can just enter times 4 times 4, then press my equal sign, or I can enter in 3.14 times 16. Okay. Oopsies, too many 16s or 6s. Okay, and that will give me 50.24. I am not rounding to the tenths here. I round at the end of my answer. Okay, then I want to add to here pi radius L. So that's going to be 3.14. My radius was 4, and my L is the slanted height right here. So my L is the slant height, and my slant height is the 9.8. Okay, so I'm simply going to multiply all these three numbers together, and I will get 123.088. Again, no rounding. Then I'm going to add that with the 50.24. Whoopsies. Plus. Oh no. And I am going to get 173 point. I don't even want to use a calculator anymore. It's just not working very well with me. And that's what I get. But I'm supposed to round to the tenths. So remember, the tenths is the first number after the decimal, which is the 3 that I'm going to highlight here. So my answer is going to be surface area equals to 173 point. Now that 3 that I highlighted will either stay a 3 or round up to a 4. And because the 2 next to it is smaller, 4 or smaller, I keep 3 the same. So I'm going to keep it as a 3. Now if the 2 was a 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9, then I would round that 3 to 4. So I'm going to label my answer as kilometers. It's squared because area is always square units. And that's my surface area answer. And I got a point for also saying the answer was a cone. Okay? Alright, let's try number 4. It is tricky. We did do it in class, but one more time, let's try it again. This shape is a triangular prism. In our triangular prism, we do have 2 triangles, and we also have, so these 2 top and bottom triangles, we also have a rectangle in the front, and we also have a rectangle here on the side, as well as a rectangle back here on the right side, plus 3 rectangles. Okay, so the area of a triangle is half base times height. And because I have 2 of them, I'm going to double that up. And then I'm going to add 3 rectangles. Now it looks like the 3 rectangles are probably not the same size, so I am going to add up 3 separate different triangles, 3 of them that are base height plus another base times height plus another base times height, and they're going to be different. Okay, so all of these base heights are different. So let's first look at the triangle. Here's my triangle down here. Now it's important that when I look at a triangle that I find the base and height, and our bases and heights must be perpendicular, meaning that when they cross, they will form a 90-degree angle. So there is that little 90-degree angle indicating where my base and height are going to be. And that is going to be these two lines, here and here. Okay, those two measurements are, this measurement is the 7 inches, and this measurement is the same as the measurement here, which is indicated by 11 inches. So my triangle has a base and the height of 7 and 11. 7 times 11, half of that for the triangle, and then we're going to double it up since there's two of the same triangles. Okay, so if I put that in my calculator, I will get 77. Then I'm going to take care of the 3 rectangles. Now I do have that rectangle in the front. Okay, this rectangle. So I want to trace rectangles so I can get the length and the width, or the base and the height. So if I trace the rectangle, as I'm tracing, I'm finding this side here and this bottom. That's 8, and up here that says 6, so it's an 8 by 6. It's an 8 times 6 rectangle. Specifically, it measures 48. 8 times 6 is 48. This is, it looks kind of funny here. This is a 77 from the triangle, and this was one of the rectangles. Then we're going to add the next rectangle. The next rectangle, we'll say it's the one on the left over here, on the left side. And on the left side here, if I trace this rectangle, I get 11. And then how long is this? 11 here, and how long is this? Well, this here is the same as what is indicated here, and that's the 6 inches. So it is 11 times 6, which is 66. So we're going to add that later to that rectangle and the triangle, the two triangles. Plus my last rectangle is the one on the right side. Okay, and this is over here. So I'm going to trace that. And that rectangle, if I trace that, I am going to get 10, 6, 10, 6. So that's a 10 times 6 rectangle. It's 60. Now I can add all those 4 numbers up. Remember, these are the 2 triangles. These are the 3 rectangles. So add them all up. I will get that the surface area is equal to 251 inches squared. No rounding. It's exact. Okay, actually for number 1, it'd be best even to use the squiggly equal sign as a more precise answer. Let's try number 6. In number 6, we have what shape here? It is a square prism. I'm sorry, pyramid. Okay? Okay, in my square pyramid, I do see that square at the bottom for the base. So the square is going to be 5 times 5, length times width, which is 25. Then I'm going to add that with the 4 triangles. Now these 4 triangles that I'm going to get, I want to find the base and the height and then divide it by 2 for one triangle, and then to multiply it 4 times. Now I am allowed to do that because these 4 triangles are all of the same size. And again, when we find the triangle base and height, it must be perpendicular. Anytime, even in trapezoids, even in rectangles and parallelograms, I'm looking for perpendicular base and heights. So here is that 90-degree angle indicated. This line, that is 6.5, and this line, they're perpendicular. So these 2 measurements, which is 6.5 times 5, and then I'm going to half that for one triangle. Base is 6.5, height is 5, or the other way around, it doesn't matter. And I need 4 of them, 4 of the same triangle. So punch that into your calculator. When I punch that in, I can simply punch in 4 times 6.5 times 5, and then I could divide all of it by 2. So in terms of this multiplication and this division of 2, I can do it in any order that I want. Because in PEMDAS, when you get to multiplying and dividing, it doesn't matter the order. Usually we'll go left to right, but honestly it doesn't make a big difference. Okay, so you're going to get 65. Then you're going to add that with the 2 squares from earlier, which is 25, which gives you a grand total of our surface area equaling 90, and my label, feet squared. Okay? All right, let's go to the back side. Let's try number 8. Number 8, what shape is number 8? It is a triangular prism. Good. Okay, so in my triangular prism, I've got this 2 triangles, plus I have 3 rectangles. They probably are not the same size, judging by the looks of my size of the triangles. So let's do the 2 triangles. I need half of base times height, and I need 2 of those triangles. So let's look for the base and height of the triangles. Again, they must be perpendicular, so let's find that 90 degree right there. So I'm looking for this base height. This is how long right here? Is it 9? No, the 9 is for the top section right here. That's what the 9 is for. Okay, which means that this is the same length as this, so it's going to be 8. So that is 8 meters. How long is this down here then? Well, that's the same as the one over here on the left side. Those are parallel, they're the same length. I'm going to do it in red. And so this is 6 meters. So the base and the height are 8 by 6. 8 by 6 divided by 2. And then I'm going to double it up. So those 2 triangles is going to measure to 48. Then I'm going to take care of the 3 rectangles. Let's take care of first the rectangle in the very back. This rectangle, I'm going to trace the rectangle. How long and wide is it? Well, when I trace it, it's 8 here and 9 here. So that's 8 times 9, which is going to give us 72. I'm going to write it down here. That's one rectangle. The second rectangle is the one that is right here. Okay, so I'm going to trace that rectangle. I see that this is 10, because it's 10 right here, and this right here is the same up here, which is 9. So 9, 10. So 9 times 10, which is 90. And my last rectangle is at the bottom, kind of here. Okay, and this rectangle, 6. And how long is that? 6. How long is this? How long is this? Well, it's the same as the one over here, so that's 9. This is supposed to be 9 as well, so that's how I get 6, 9. So that's 6 times 9, which is 54. So these 4, I'm going to add up. This is my 2 triangles. These are the 3 rectangles. So add them all up. You will get the total surface area of 264 meters squared. Okay, a couple of hints for tomorrow when you take your quiz. Know your shapes. Know shapes. Okay, 2, know the area of squares, area of rectangles, and area of triangles. I won't give that to you on the test. Third, make sure you show your work so you make no mistakes, because it is so easy to. These questions require so many steps that one little number multiplied wrong or one little number added wrong will get you to the wrong answer. Study hard. See you tomorrow.